Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of our book discussion. We have been reading Igniting the Sixth Sense by Eric Pepin, P-E-P-I-N. And I've made some notes. We're going to jump around in the book. I do apologize for not having slides this week. There was a medical emergency this week that I had to attend to, and I was unable to create the slide. But on that note, let's begin by reading a little bit from the book. Excuse me. Let me just make sure this is off here. Great. Okay. Now let's begin reading some of the book, some of the text. Understanding your own thought and thinking about it is called self-observation, which is something you're told to do often. Through self-observation, you will find liberation. Through self-observation, you will find inner truth and inner awakening. Knowing the truth is self-liberation. It's why you meditate. You meditate to separate yourself from negative influences. Now let's just stop at that moment right there. Anytime I tell people meditate, I hear, well, I don't have the time to meditate. My schedule is too busy to meditate. And my response to that is, that's garbage. You have time to meditate. If you have time to go to Dunkin' Donuts through the drive-thru and wait in line for 15 minutes in the morning, you can take 2 minutes to meditate. Now, that does not mean that you have to sit in a lotus position and go, No, you don't have to do that. Meditation is clearing your mind of any outside thoughts, outside influences. So you're not thinking about what you're cooking tonight. You're not thinking about something someone said or what your spouse said, boyfriend said, or you're not thinking about anything else. You're just clearing your mind. You don't have to force it. Just clear your mind and relax. Start off small, 2 minutes. You don't have to be in some spa retreat or atmosphere. You can do it right when you're in Dunkin' Donuts waiting for that coffee. You don't even have to close your eyes. Just be quiet, turn off the radio, turn off your music, sit quiet, 2 minutes. Deep breaths to clear out all that tension and whatever else is affecting you at that moment. It's about mindfulness and living in the present moment, not thinking about the past and not thinking about the future, but living in the present moment now. That's what that's about. Okay, now continue reading the text. By practicing what you've been taught, you have a better chance of finding inner truth. With inner truth comes liberation. With liberation comes enlightenment. What does that mean? Inner truth. Well, the answer to our questions are always within ourselves. The answer to our problems, the solutions, they are within ourselves. But we cannot find those answers if we don't get quiet. Free our minds. That's liberation. Free ourselves of all ties, any anchors, any thoughts or schedules, just freeing our souls, our minds. And the more you do that, the closer and closer you get to enlightenment, to ascension, to ascending. The closer and closer you do this, all right? Continue. And this next part of the text touches upon what I just talked about. All the miscellaneous things are distractions slowing you down. They feed on the same amount of energy you have to finish a project. Most of them are not really necessary at all. That's just what I said. All these extra thoughts, these miscellaneous things and distractions are not helping us at all ascend or become enlightened. In fact, they are hindering our progress by thoughts are energy. And every time we think, we're using energy. And while we're in that drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts, thinking about what we have to do that day and what we did yesterday and who we have to pick up and all those things, they just slow us down. They cloud our mind. They don't free us. They don't allow for the meditative state, for the mindfulness to come through or to happen. And we never ascend because we're so involved within these thoughts, this tension, and this chatter that is going on in our minds. And when most of these thoughts are not really necessary at this moment, because we are living now. We have to be mindful of what is going on now, at this moment. That is what we are concentrating on. Okay, and that doesn't even require that much concentration. All you have to do is forget about the past. Don't think about the future. Focus right now at this moment, not about the coffee that you're getting ready to get. No, your state of being at this moment. Take a deep breath and wash out all that tension. Inhale, exhale. Even if you just breathe, inhale, exhale. That's fine. 2 minutes, you got it. Okay? And some people like to write these things down. To write what they're going to do down. All right. I have the goal of, exercising 3 times a week. That's okay. If you write it down, then you can manifest it. And Pepin also talks about making notes, writing things down to create change. How do we make changes and make more positive changes in our lives, healthier choices, both mentally and physically? So I'm going to read some more here. When you write something down, it has the profound ability to manifest itself in this dimension. Again, writing something down solidifies it, seals it, makes it happen. So be careful what you think and be careful what you put onto paper. Everything you want to change is in this dimension. It's not just in your mind. It's how you react with this dimension. There are more people on earth right now trying to find self-realization through various schools of thought than ever has been in the history of humankind. It will happen through the process of self-reflection, self-awareness, and inner truth. If you look at this by factoring the numbers, what was once a few hundred, 1,000, or a few 100,000 people is now in the millions. So already, this progressive thinking has begun. The universe contains an ultimate truth. If you were to observe a conch shell, cutting it open, you would see the spiral within. Now that last paragraph, what does that mean? The universe contains the ultimate truth. Just as I said before, the solutions, the answers to your questions lie within yourself. And we are part of the universe. We are atoms, a bunch of atoms circling around in the space, along with other atoms and elements. The physical things that you see are just an illusion. the matter, you see this chair you're sitting in, the bed you lie on at night, if you break them down, they're just composed of different elements that have vibrated at a certain rate to manifest this physical form that the human eye can see. And if you really would like to learn more about vibrations and what we call what this comes from is the Kybalion, I highly suggest you go get the Kybalion, and that's spelled Kybalion. It's a study of the Hermetic philosophy. And it's a very, if you can understand it, it's a very helpful guide. If you don't understand it, I highly suggest you go to the International Metaphysics University and you take their course on the principle of metaphysics. It's a very good course. It's a very good course, and there's forums, you can ask questions, but it's an eye-opening, informative course, and it really causes you to look at the world, the universe differently. And you'll understand what I had just talked about as well, if you don't understand it already. Again, that's part of the International Metaphysics University. I believe, yes, International IMU is their abbreviation, the acronym. So again, let's continue with our text reading here. There could be larger energies trying to control you through thought. Those are those things again, those miscellaneous, unimportant thoughts that are crowding your mind in the present moment. Okay, like going into a town or house that has a certain vibration, like going to a place, and have you ever gone into a place where you can instantly feel that, hey, there's something going on at this place. I don't think I want to be here. Those thoughts are controlling you at that moment. And you have to make a decision whether you let the thoughts control you and stay there and be in all that and suffer all these thoughts going in your mind, and in return that's affecting your mental state and your mood, or you can just leave. And that way you don't have to have those thoughts or that energy controlling you. Okay. These are all forms of thought control. There might be individual beings with controlling desires and wants who constantly affect you on a micro level. Micro control is done through emotional broadcasting, which can be considered a form of psychic attack because they are willfully thrusting their spirit upon you. They are projecting their energy, their desire to be with you, to be drawn to you, and desired by you. If someone is advancing too quickly, the collective finds a way to hold them and brings them back down again. And I'm going to end that reading by rereading what I read when we opened up this discussion. Understanding your own thought and thinking about it is called self-observation, which is something you're told to do often. Be mindful of your thoughts and where those thoughts take you. Meditate to separate yourself from things that do not need your time and energy at this present moment. I hope you enjoyed today's book discussion. You can send me questions, comments, or suggestions by contacting me on my website, www.awakenedpathonline.com. You can also participate in the discussion forum by clicking on the forum tab. Now, you do have to register for the discussion page, and that is so that people can freely express themselves with other like-minded individuals. Also, take advantage of the different workshops and online courses and resources that are presented on the website by clicking the tabs at the top of the page. They're all labeled. I've enjoyed reading and discussing Igniting the Sixth Sense with you. Until next time, be well. Namaste.